Hello, everyone. It's Melissa with Gilda's Club Grand Rapids, and I hope that we find you today safe and healthy and warm, although it is getting kind of warmer outside, which is nice. If you're new to Gilda's Club in this Facebook post and you'd like more information, please give us a call at 453-8300 or look on our website, gildasclubgr.org. And if you like this post, give us a thumbs up. We always like that. And in the end, it'll be recorded, so you'll be able to find it again. And if you really liked it or thought it was helpful, please share it. We would love you to share the wealth of the information, and we want to reach as many people as we can. So today we have a special guest. We have a great place here in Grand Rapids called the Wellbeing. And we have Brendan Kelly, who is a therapist there and the co-owner and founder of the Wellbeing. And he comes to us as a master's level social worker who's been in the working in outpatient since 2003. Brendan and I used to work together at Gilda's Club, at Arbor Circle.
Arbor Circle. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a little while. But he also received his master's degree from Western Michigan University and has been working in Grand Rapids since that time. During his career, he has completed a 7-month extramural. Is that what that's how you say that?
Yep.
Extramural training program in the Beck Institute for Cognitive Therapy and Research. That sounds very official. Yeah.
It was, and it was a very cool experience. My first job here in town at Touchstone,
Sure.
myself and a few others, they flew us out to the Beck Institute out in Philadelphia. I met Aaron Beck, who recently passed away. Unfortunately, he was one of the great minds in our field for many years, and met him and his daughter, and spent a lot of good time out there learning CBT. It was probably one of the best professional experiences of my life, and one that I'm still grateful for today.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So he also is certified in didactic behavioral therapy, CBT, boy, they're all those initials. Anyway, I'm going to get all mixed up there. Through the Behavioral Tech Institute, and he received an extensive amount of continuing ed education. I'm not talking very well in motivational interviewing with the MINT trainers. You love spending time with your wife and your daughter, and how old is your daughter?
She's 12, turning 13 this March.
Oh
Crazy.
my goodness.
I know.
Yeah, that happens fast.
Yeah.
And with his family and friends, trail running, mountain biking, being at the beach, playing in the snow. It's a good year for that. And just getting outside
Finally.
on a daily basis. Yeah, really, finally. Yeah. So it's great to have you with us, Brendan.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Melissa. It's good to see you again. It's been too long.
Yeah, it has been too long. So what's the idea of the well-being? Tell us a little bit about that first.
Sure. Well, in the introduction, you said I was the founder, and I do want to correct that. I'm a co-founder. It was myself and our friend and former colleague of yours, Timothy Perry.
Yeah.
We opened our doors back in June of 2011. And we have a very unique concept, which is we have taken a traditional outpatient therapy practice and added a fitness center to it. And we do that really for one reason and one reason only. And it has nothing to do with the physical health benefits of exercise, which everybody knows about. Everybody knows that, exercise is helpful when it comes to somebody wanting to lose weight or improve their cardiovascular health or any of the physical health benefits of it. We have included exercise to the degree that we have. Essentially, we've built our practice around it because of the mental health benefits of it. The mental health benefits of regular exercise are on par with any other form of mental health treatment. I'm talking mental health medications, or seeing a therapist. It's as good as anything else that's available on the market today. So we see it as a valuable form of mental health treatment, and one that's unfortunately highly overlooked and underutilized. And as I always like to say, it comes with the world's best side effects.
That's great tagline,
Mhm.
actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, when you say exercise, what do you mean?
Depends. Really what it's about. It's about our heart rate. It's about our own exertion level. So you can take two people, say take Tim. You know Tim. Tim is, what is he, 65 years old, and he's in better shape than I am. I mean, he's run marathons and all that jazz. Um, in order for Tim to get his heart rate up to, say, a moderate level of intensity, that would probably require Tim running at a certain pace, right? Maybe a 10-minute mile pace. Whereas somebody else who's maybe not as good of shape as Tim, somebody whose physical conditioning is less good, maybe they get their heart rate up to that same level of moderate intensity, but they do it with a brisk walk. That it's not about how far we run or how fast we run or how much weight we lift or anything like that. What they have found in research, what's most important is that it's all tied into where our heart rate is. Is our heart beating? Are we getting our heart rate up there? Are we starting to maybe sweat a little bit? Are we starting to breathe kind of heavy? We don't want people to be, gasping for breath and their heart rate is maxed out. We want it to be at a more moderate level of intensity where they're pushing themselves, and they're sweating a little bit and they're breathing pretty good and their heart rate's bumping pretty good. Because when we do that for around 25 or 30 minutes, that's when the brain starts to trigger some really important neurotransmitters, endorphins, endocannabinoids, and dopamine. And these neurotransmitters can immediately change how we feel after we're done with exercise. We feel more calm and relaxed. We feel like we've been a better sense of energy. We're energized. We're motivated. Our mood has improved. So our energy is better. Our motivation is better. We feel better. Our mood's been boosted, and we're more calm and relaxed at the same time. I mean, that sounds like it is a pretty wonderful combination.
Oh,
And then if we
absolutely.
and if we do that repeatedly, where we, on a regular basis, 3, 4, 5 days a week, where 25 minutes, a half an hour, we get our heart rate up, we push ourselves, we sweat a little bit, we're breathing pretty good, we get a good workout in, and we do that, on a regular basis each week, our mental health improves overall.
Hmm. So as all of those neurotransmitters are being triggered and starting to flood our bodies, then
Mhm.
that's also, I'm just thinking it detoxes, it helps us detox. Like you're saying, you feel more relaxed, because it helps us reduce our stress, reduce blood pressure, eliminate maybe toxins of,
I
I'm,
believe
I'm
that.
thinking, yeah, I'm thinking at Gilda's Club, of course, we're our population, our members are either on a cancer journey or supporting someone on a cancer journey, so that the amount of stress is much more. Plus, the person who is in treatment is taking in a lot of chemicals, is taking in a lot of medication, in order to balance maybe radiation or chemo or something like that. What would you suggest for them, when their body is under that kind of stress? I jumped topics because what I was thinking too is it helps them to process those toxins, I would assume, that are in their body, um, a little bit more efficiently, maybe, than if they weren't exercising. But for someone who's in treatment, what would you suggest? Because it can get very your mental health can really take a hit when you're in
Yeah,
treatment. Yeah.
yeah. I would unquestionably recommend some sort of a regular exercise routine for anybody that is currently battling cancer or is dealing with a loved one who is currently battling cancer. And there's something I want to speak to in a minute on that, but as far as the mental health benefits are concerned, yeah, dealing with the stress, dealing with the depression, the anxiety, these are all. I always tell people, if you question what I'm saying, if you have any, if you want to learn more about it, just get onto Google and type in exercise treatment depression, or exercise treatment stress, or exercise treatment anxiety, or exercise treatment mental health. And you will be shocked at the amount of literature, research, articles that exists out there. It's incredible. And the issue, the problem that I have is that it's being overlooked. All of this research and all of this information that exists that proves conclusively, without any sort of a doubt, that movement and exercise is a vital form of mental health treatment. It's not, that's not how we do things here in the United States. So anybody that's struggling with cancer, either themselves or somebody that a loved one that's dealing with cancer, obviously the stress, the anxiety, the depression, it can be helped from, that can be very helpful. Then I understand, going through chemotherapy, can be an incredible ordeal physiologically. So it's you do what you can if you're in the place to do something. The thing about exercise, as opposed to psychotropic medications, is that it's not easy to do. It's hard to do, but it's worth it. It is unquestionably worth it, and we just do the best that we can, right? Um,
Yeah.
but the one thing that I think people aren't very familiar, and I meant to look this up again just to see what new information was out there. When we opened the doors to the well-being back in June in 2011, I was reading a lot of research on exercise and its impact on our mental health. And all of a sudden, right around that time, I want to say it was 2011 or 2012, all of a sudden, all of our major news outlets, ABC, CBS, NBC, started to release this information online, and where the headline was that if exercise came in a pill form, it would be considered a wonder drug for cancer recovery and prevention. And
Oh,
that information came from this organization based in the UK called Macmillan Cancer Support Organization. It's MCMILLAN, Macmillan Cancer Support Organization. And Macmillan is a widely respected, I kind of dug into this when I saw it, and like, who are, who is this organization? Macmillan Cancer Support Organization is a widely respected worldwide organization on cancer research. And essentially anything that they release has been thoroughly vetted. So when they came out with this information back in 2011 or 2012, what they said was exercise is a vital aspect of recovery from cancer and or prevention. But it
right.
wasn't for, I remember specifically, it wasn't for all types of cancers. It was, I think, colon cancer. There were like maybe 3 or 4 that they showed a very clear correlation between
Sure.
recovery rates and activity rates. So that's something else for our listeners to look into, for people that are currently battling cancer. Is this another reason for me to exercise? Because
Yeah.
historically, right, the recommendations from our medical community was to rest, correct?
Right.
If
Right.
if somebody was battling cancer, they were told to rest, take it easy, not move. And what Macmillan said back then, 10 years ago or so, was to do the exact opposite.
Right. Well, even now, if you go into the hospital for any kind of surgery, it's very few hours and they are having you get up and move
Good,
and walk.
good.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I had heart surgery 4 years ago and literally it was hours and they had me up and I couldn't even believe it. I was like, you want me to move?
Right, right,
And they were
right.
like, yep, we
Didn't
do.
this just happen?
Right, right.
Right,
Did you see where I came from? No.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, they really want you, that is that important to do some sort of movement
Yeah.
as a way of healing for sure.
You
Yeah.
know,
And to really, yeah, pay attention to your own body. And for sure we want to say the caveat of always talk with your doctor first if you're in treatment, and always get medical advice about what it is, the kind of exercise that you want to do, so that you get clearance for that to begin with.
And
So
I think that is absolutely wise advice. If you have any health concerns, cardiovascular issues, joint pain, anything like that, to talk with your doctor before, hey, just to make sure, is it okay that I begin exercising to some extent?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to add in here all of our grief members and how stressful grief can be. And grief is very, very physical.
Mhm.
It is a physical experience from beginning to end. And really that, we say once on a grief journey, you're always on a grief journey. And so regular exercise can really help you
100%.
with, yeah, the
Yep.
process of your grief.
There was a piece of research that came out probably 5 or 6 years ago from the Karolinska Institute. It's Karolinska. It's an institute, some academic institution in Sweden, I do believe, like somewhere in that area, Sweden or Norway.
Yeah.
And what they found in their research was that exercise has this inoculation type effect on us, inoculating us from stress and stress-induced depression.
Hmm.
And the thing is they go on, like, what happens. There's a substance called kynurenine that is produced during stressful times, and it gets into our bloodstream, and it can pass through our blood-brain barrier, and then when we exercise, it changes the kynurenine and the kynurenic acid, which can't, like, it's so complicated, Melissa, like the neurobiology, the neuroscience
Yeah.
behind this. I can barely we're dealing with the human brain, which we know like that much about, right?
Right.
And the human brain is the most complex and complicated organism known to man. There's nothing
Yeah.
more complicated, out there in existence that we're aware of than the human brain. And I'm a reasonably intelligent guy, but I don't, the brain science, I don't understand it. But like, all I know is that what I'm reading time and time and time again, like, even if I don't get what happens specifically to our brain, like changing kynurenine into kynurenic acid, and how it can, all of that.
Yeah.
I get what they're saying, like that exercise has an inoculation type effect from stress and stress-induced depression. And I experienced that myself,
Yeah.
like when I'm on my game and I'm doing well and I'm exercising regularly. It's not always, I kind of go like this in my life for sure. But when I'm kind of at my best with exercise, I'm good. Like, I get a little stressed out, but I kind of breeze through life. I got it. I'm good. I can handle it. I can manage it. When I fall off of my routine because I get sick or I get busy or I don't have time for it, that's when the stress starts to impact me. I feel it more.
Yes.
But when that happens, I'm like, oh, I know what I need to do. Start exercising again.
Yeah.
And when I do, I'm better.
Right. I love that you brought it down to that personal experience, because the truth is, no matter what anybody else says, no matter what all of the research and whatnot, is paying attention to how you feel
100%.
when you're able to move.
Correct.
And if it's stepping out the door and going down the block and back, hey, that's movement. And if that's
Yep.
more than you've done
Yep.
before, that's it. That's an accomplishment.
Yep.
And paying attention to that in how that feels, how your mental health feels, how your just whole self is responding to that.
Correct.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I tell my clients is that you can based on my experiences of the past 10, 11 years, that we can really group people into one of two different groups. One group being people like myself who respond really, really well to exercise. It makes a huge difference in my life. Like, I see a clear difference between how I'm doing in terms of my mental health when I'm exercising regularly and how I'm doing when I'm not. And it makes a huge difference in the moment. Like if I'm having a bad day, if I'm feeling kind of down or depressed or unmotivated, in a funk, and I go do 30 minutes in our fitness center here, I feel better, like noticeably better. Or if I'm stressed out and irritable or whatever, and I go do 30 minutes, I'm good, right? So there's that one group where it makes a huge difference for. But then there's this other group where it still makes a difference. It's just not as big. It's there, like people report, I feel a little better, but not significant. And I was like, dang, when that happens, because I want everybody to get what I
Yeah.
get, right? But
Right.
that's what I say is that it's really similar to medications. If you take 10 people, who are all struggling with depression, and you put them all on 50 milligrams of Zoloft, you're going to have 10 different responses to it. Some of those
Right.
people are going to do really well on it. Some people are going to maybe do okay on it. And then for some people, it may not make a difference at all. The good news is with exercise, to this day, I can count on one hand the number of people that it did nothing for.
Hmm.
And one of them I remember specifically, like nothing was working for this guy.
Yeah.
He all sorts of different medication. He had what apparently a pretty significant case of treatment resistant depression.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it either helps a little or it helps a lot, or in between.
Okay. And so that is a good lead to how do you know it when it's when exercise is just going to be the right thing for you, and what's kind of something that you might think, well, you probably should have some medical intervention with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of like seeing a doctor, maybe talking to them about
Right.
a
Right.
medication.
Yeah.
What we have a lot of clients that come here taking an some sort of a psychotropic medication, which is fine.
Mhm.
A lot of people come to us because they don't want to go that route, and they're
Yeah.
hoping to avoid it. And when I say it, it's always an option. It's always an option. And so if they're coming to us and they're hoping, okay, I've been struggling with depression or anxiety, I don't want to take a medication, I would like to try your way first. Great. And essentially we're like, okay, let's get going. And as long as a person is at their symptoms, their depression isn't at a level of severity to where they're really at risk of
Yeah.
self-harm or anything like that, or they're not showing up to work, they're still functioning okay in life, then we can take time and explore and see whether or not this works. And if this combination of working with a therapist here at the Wellbeing and incorporating exercise into your life, we see what happens. And if this combination works, wonderful, awesome. If it's like I've been doing it and I've been trying and I'm exercising and I'm not feeling any better or as good as I would like to, absolutely, then it's time. Okay, maybe it is time to explore that third option for treatment.
Sure. Okay, great. Well, I'm thinking of something that we haven't really touched on, but that I know that at Gilda's Club, we practice a lot, but it is exercising with other people in community, and how, at least at Gilda's Club, our members really enjoy that they, and it kind of motivates them maybe when they're needing some motivation or needing, so you want to speak to that?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, the having what they call an accountability buddy, right? you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
like, oh, I really don't want to go because, again, exercise is hard, especially when you're tired, you're down, or you're busy. And so having that other person that, okay, I'm supposed to meet them at this class at Gilda's Club, or at this fitness class at the Y, or at this class here at the Wellbeing, or whatever, at Riverside Park. And even though I don't want to go, they're going to be there, and I don't want to let them down, right? So that can certainly help get people to do something that they might not do otherwise. But it's interesting, there can be. So several years ago, we started this group we're calling the Transformation Project. We haven't gotten it going yet, and there's a few different reasons for that. but we had it going at our old practice for a while. And what it was that it was a fitness class that happened every Tuesday and Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. And people signed up for this program, right? We called it the Transformation Project. And we kind of all, with our clients, we kind of went through what this entailed. And if they were interested, then they signed, yep, I'm going to do this. And what it was by signing up for this 12-week program, you were committing that you were going to come to this fitness class twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30, and that it was only available. The fitness class was only for people who were in this transformation project. And the
Sure.
transformation project was just like, all it was the one requirement was that you're a client here at the Wellbeing. You were seeing a therapist on a regular basis, some sort of, that could be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, that you were actively involved in treatment at the Wellbeing, and that you were going to come twice a week for 12 weeks, right? So everybody in this group was a client of the Wellbeing. Everybody in this group was dealing with some sort of a mental health issue. But all it was, like, it wasn't like there wasn't a support group atmosphere. Like, people just showed up, did the workout, and left. But they connected with each other, and they kind of got to know each other. Anyways, we collected a lot of information from them on their experiences, and what sort of an impact was this having on the people that were involved. And it was really interesting. A few people said the same thing, that they found this like power that was in this group. And one of the people, I think, phrased it best when she said, individually, we're all people that are struggling with our own mental health issues, but twice a week we get together and we fight back against our mental health issues, our own individual mental health issues together as a group. We fight back against this together. And there was this real power that was in this group that were like, okay, we've got something, and we will do it again here at our new location when obviously things change a little bit. And I do want to add a support group aspect to that as well, where our members can actually sit down and talk and connect with each other and then go work out together. I think that would be really cool. But again, there's that group cohesion that can form that kind of gets to what you're talking about. So there's the accountability aspect, but then there's that sense of like, we're all in it together. So a group of people that are struggling in some respect with like either, dealing with cancer on their own, or dealing with a loved one, who's struggling with cancer, that could be very powerful. We're fighting back together.
Yeah. In fact, many of our members have said that in the groups that they don't have to explain to anyone or tell anyone or anything. There's this understanding that we are in this together, and that so they feel very at home and understood and connected, and they don't have to share a ton of stuff. They can just come and exercise, or in the support groups that obviously was where they do the sharing. But there's this assumption of understanding already, and acceptance and safety within that. And they just really, that in itself is really healing, that connectiveness, that not feeling so alone, because both cancer and grief can feel very lonely, and so can mental health issues. I mean, so it's really a very, very powerful experience.
I think it's great you guys are doing that. I really do.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks.
Yeah, this club is awesome.
We feel very fortunate. Thank you. Yeah. We feel very fortunate this community supports us in a way that we can do this free of charge. No insurance, no charge to our members, and they can, have this special place to really just lean into their experience and connect with others. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting kind of close to the end of time. I had one other thought, and now,
I would like to get into that a little bit, that the barrier of money. And I just want to speak about something that is a new development here that we're really proud of. We've been doing this for 11 years, and we've had a few different attempts of having a fitness center professional on staff. right?
Mhm.
And we're a small organization, so we don't have the ability to just pay somebody a salary. And
Yeah.
so our fitness professional, our fitness center director, it's always been they survive based on their business, right?
Uh,
And we've struggled to, we've lost a couple of people because we weren't large enough. We didn't have enough business going their way in order for them, for them to be able to afford to stay on. But getting our clients to exercise has been a much greater challenge than I initially thought, in the months leading up to us opening our doors. And one of the, and because there's a lot of barriers to exercise, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy. A lot of people aren't really comfortable doing stuff on their own. They don't know what to do or how to do it. There's just tons of barriers to exercise. And one of those barriers is money, is the financial barrier.
mhm.
And so there's always been this issue when we've had a fitness instructor here that's been available to work individually with our clients, many of whom would benefit. So we have a lot of people that don't know, like I said, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to get started. Many of our clients would benefit from like 4 or 6 sessions with our guy, Mike, to get them started with an exercise routine, to help them learn how to do so in a safe and effective manner, to get them, rolling along to where
Yeah.
after maybe 6 weeks, they're like, okay, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. I'm feeling the benefit and I'm good. Some of our clients are doing really well financially and can afford it. But we have a lot of clients here that aren't, that are struggling financially. We see a lot of people with Medicaid, a lot of people with Medicare and unlimited incomes. So in order to overcome that barrier, we started up our own little nonprofit wing. We call the Wellbeing Foundation. About a month ago, we were awarded 501c3 status through the IRS, which was a huge win for us. But it's
Nice.
really about, what we're able to do now is say to our clients who are struggling financially, okay, so you want to participate in this service with Mike, right? And the normal cost is $150 a month or $200 to meet with him weekly to get you going, to get you started, all of that. How much what can you afford on your own? Oh, you can do 20 a month, or you can do 40 a month, or you can do 60 a month. Okay, the Wellbeing Foundation will cover the rest. And the impact that's had, it's still pretty new, but right now we have 9 people that are involved in this, 9 people who before wouldn't have been able to participate in this service that they find very valuable. And 3 of those clients are my clients who for months I talked to about exercise. What are you going to do? How can you do it? How about getting outside, go for a walk, do this? And really, unfortunately, got nowhere with them in spite of my best efforts. I got them linked up with Mike and they're all kicking butt. So it speaks to the importance of Mike's position. And it's
Yeah.
been such a wonderful thing for us to be like, okay, we can provide you now with a service that, historically is only for people that have some sort of a disposable income. Now you can afford it too. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that it's great that you guys at Gilda's Club are providing that service as well for free.
Yeah.
I love it. Because how many of those people, some of them may not be able, if
Yeah.
they had to pay $10 a group session, they may not be able to do it. But
Yeah.
you're like, we don't care. It's free. Anybody that wants to come can come. We need
Yeah.
more of that in our community.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
Good for you
really,
guys.
thank you. And really, all of the kudos go to our volunteer group leaders
Awesome.
for our classes.
Okay.
And yeah, we have a woman that comes to us via Zoom from California, Dana, and teaches yoga. And then we have Noreen who teaches Sit and Be Fit, which is not for sissies. I am gonna say I have taken that class. And but someone who might have mobility issues, it's a perfect way to exercise. And she just really, she's so good at it. And then so we just have a wide variety of offerings, either virtually or in person. Well, we have one in person actually, and we have a walking group, and just people that are professionals in the community who offer their time to our members. And
That's great.
it's really, yeah, it's awesome. We're very grateful to them for that.
speaks to the importance that Gilda's Club holds in our community. You know, that people
Oh,
are willing to give their time and energy
yeah,
for you know your organization. So, you know,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. So I think that honestly, we could just keep talking probably for another half an hour, and there's so much more to say and so much more to learn. But really, the first thing to do is to just step outside your door. It's just to stand up out of your chair, do something. Um,
And if
and
I can,
yeah,
I would
go
like
ahead.
to, sorry to interrupt, but there is one thing I think is most important, and it's something that we try to, we have to change what motivates us when it comes to exercise. That historically it's been losing weight or getting into shape or cardiovascular issues or whatever the case may be. And the reason why we have to change and move away from that and move more towards I exercise because of how it makes me feel is because it's the difference between immediate and delayed rewards. That if I want to lose 40 pounds, right? If that's my goal, if that's what's motivating me to go to the Y, like everybody's there right now, right? The Y is packed today with people with the New Year's resolution of
Yeah,
losing weight. That
yeah,
means I have to exercise today and tomorrow and all of these days and weeks to come in order to get that reward I'm looking for. And sometimes it doesn't happen. You know, losing weight is hard, right? And along that path, it's easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow because I
Mhm.
know if I go to the gym today, I'm not going to lose that weight today, right? So I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, and I'll do it. I'll do it the next day, and then pretty soon we've lost that motivation. The Y is packed right now. In about 2 months, you'll probably be able to fire a gun off in that place at this time and not hit anybody because
We're
people
not
didn't.
suggesting that though.
No, no, sorry, that's bad.
That's
No,
yeah.
no
We're not.
guns,
You could
no
yell really
guns.
loud and do not disturb anyone.
Thank you. They're much better. I gotta change that phrase. But yeah, because like they won't get that reward they're looking for. So it is vital that we pay attention to what it does for our mental health. How do I feel? How do I feel before? How do I feel after? Where's my stress level? Where's my anxiety level? My depression, my mood, my energy, all of that. Because when we start to notice that, man, like when I go to the gym, I feel better afterwards, right?
Right,
When I go for a walk, I feel better afterwards,
right,
immediately afterwards. And when we start to tie that into our day-to-day existence, that's the thing that can motivate us. That's why I get up and exercise, not to lose weight 3 months from now, but to
right.
lose to feel
To
better today.
gain,
Yep.
right, to gain, yeah,
Correct. And knowing is that's my focus. You know, even if I change my focus to I'm doing this to make, for me to feel better, I still get those same benefits. I'm
yeah,
going to still lose that weight that I was going to lose regardless. My
right,
cardiovascular health will still improve regardless, but
right,
I'm just doing this, right now today because I feel better today, knowing like, okay, what will come down the road will still come down the road. So
right,
that's the
yeah.
last piece that I wanted to say on
I love the mindfulness piece that really just paying attention to
this.
ourselves and how it affects you and those benefits rather than did I lose 5 pounds or 2 inches or whatever. Yeah,
And it's
that
interesting.
that
I've talked to people who were so focused on the physical health benefits, they completely overlooked, like they
yeah,
missed the fact they were feeling better. And only when I was talking to them, like in our first session, like any history of exercise, yeah, and like how did you feel back then? And all of a sudden they'll be like, holy cow, like I was feeling better. Like they didn't realize it at the time.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing to pay attention. Rich, rich topic. And so important right now, not only for both the people you see and the people that are members at Gilda's, but for everyone, especially with COVID and the snow and everything. Find ways to move. And if you're interested and you're on a cancer journey or a grief journey, you can contact Gilda's Club and we'll help you get connected with our fitness classes. So, and you can get a hold of Brendan,
Yep.
go to the well-being. Yeah.
Yep. 616-458-6870.
Perfect. Thank you. And we will post all that
Okay.
information. So, I am so grateful to you. You are obviously very passionate about this, and I love that. It's so great. And that also there's one of the benefits of exercise is that passion, is being able to live your passion, which you're doing right now. And that's really cool.
And thank you,
Yeah.
Melissa. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great seeing you again as well. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Let's do this again sometime, shall we? Maybe in
I
person.
That would be great. Hey, I'm looking.
Someday.
Yes,
Yeah.
soon, someday. We'll get through this. I know we will. So, all right. Well, if for all the rest of you, thank you for joining us. We hope that you stay well and healthy and do some movement today in honor of our Facebook Live program here and in honor of yourself. And if you're new to a guilt or a cancer or grief journey and you'd like to get connected with our free support program here at Gilda's, again, our phone number is 453-8300. Our website is gildasclubgr.org. We have a full virtual program and some hybrid. So we are seeing some people in person, hosting some groups in person Wednesday and Thursday evenings, Tuesday evenings too, I believe. But look on our calendar. That's where most of the correct information is, because I'm probably not going to give you all the correct information. So look there. If you can't find our calendar, just give us a call. We're more than happy to help you get to your group or class. So I think that's about it. Thank you again, Brendan, for being here,
It was
and
a
take
pleasure
care.
and honor.
Yeah. Well, thank you. See you guys. Take care.